You come back for it. It works, but it's not. What is happening? Oh my God, I'm starting to understand. That little guy ate that buzzbait. There's another one. So yesterday, me and the guys took a trip down the Yacht. It was the worst float I've ever taken. But for all the other guys, it was magical. Everyone was doing great. They were throwing buzzbaits, something I've never used before. So yesterday was a special day. There was something different about that day that was making the fish super aggressive. And they didn't want anything to do with my swim bait. And yet everyone else was having this magical time. So I was like, I have to learn something about this buzzbait. I have to figure this out because these guys had a trip that I dreamed of having. So this is me trying to figure out the buzzbait, and I actually started to learn some things and made it work pretty good for me. No way. Got one. Oh, he was so tiny though. He had to have been tiny. I don't know. Do this on the way down. But of course, I had to throw a swim bait at least a couple times for educational purposes. Is that a fish? Does not feel big if that's a fish. It is a fish. Didn't even feel him take it. Growing a little bit. Nope, he's small. Small but fat. Very fat. Oh my God. Maybe the fattest smallmouth I've ever seen. That's crazy. And he has some kind of bug in his mouth. Maybe a crab. I don't know. We're gonna let him go. They gotta be small. He's feeling a little bit bigger. No, he's tiny. And that went just about the same as it did yesterday. I was barely catching anything. So at this point, I decided, that's it. I'm throwing the buzzbait. Here on out, I ain't picking up that swim bait no more. I gotta learn this buzzbait. Here we go. First fish on the buzzbait. Yeah, it's bigger than another one. That little guy ate that buzzbait. There we go. Nice little like 13 on a buzzbait. First ever buzzbait fish. He ate it. Didn't even need a trailing hook. First ever buzzbait fish. Another one. Oh my God. Okay, so I lied. I picked it up again, but for good reason. You'll see in a second. Oh my God, it's working. Oh, he broke me off. Who knows? Maybe I was a muskie or something. I don't know. I didn't see nothing jump. I see why those guys were doing what they were doing now. You come back for it. You come back for it. This is crazy. He's a decent one too. Oh my God, I'm starting to understand. Okay, he's not huge, but he's nice. It's very, very light color. Very light. Pretty big hole. He might have been hooked up there before. He's not huge. Let's measure him real quick. He is, I think 14 1/4. He hit it and came back for it. Crazy. You're still recording? You are. How have I not done this before?
That one I broke off on might have been a big. I don't know if you're supposed to let a buzzbait down after he hits it, but that's what I did, and he took it under, so I hit it. It seems like you need to hit the water lightly or hit the bank. This buzzbait's working much better than the one I was using yesterday. It's weird too because that fish I caught was the palest smallmouth I may have ever caught in my life. Oh, he came off. They want it pulled down. This is so interesting. Just missed one. He come up for it. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna come back down on the other side. So basically, I'm not doing this and trying this buzzbait because yesterday, swim bait is not working at all. I've never really had that happen before. I've had it like not work great, but it worked, you know? No, it didn't work at all. And I broke my rod, so couldn't even throw my swim bait. River was moving fast, so I didn't have time to really stop and cast like I should have. There's a million and one reasons why my day didn't go good. At this point, it's a good learning experience. But again, my swim bait, I caught a couple, but I can just tell it ain't working like it should be. Water is a little murky, but I normally like it like that. But I normally like it like that in isolated areas. You know, spillways, dams, eddies. So I'm like, you know what, this is good time, good practice for me to try to buzzbait. And my buzzbait I was using that day, because I carry a whole bunch of stuff with me all the time. The two buzzbaits I had always have like a black and like a white. Neither one of them ran very good. Part of it was me. I'm finding out, you know, you're casting a buzzbait, you want to almost hit the bank, if not hit the bank, and then slowly bring it back. Sometimes you can't do that, but if you're not going to do that, I think it's best to engage the reel and then start reeling, and that buzzbait's going to go like this. You're casting it, it's going like this, and you're going to and just hit the water so that it's lightly hitting the water and staying on top. Maybe that's not that important, but it seems like it worked over there. So I'm going to try the other side and work my way down and see if it's just an area thing or if the other side will have some fish. So I'm already learning some stuff, and I think this buzzbait, it is working a whole lot better than that other one I had. And also I'm realizing they want it pulled down. They don't want it across. They want it thrown up and pulled down. I don't think I had any bites on one that I threw across or pulling up river. So all the stuff that the guys have been telling me already is true. It's right. They're absolutely correct. I just thought I was doing it when I wasn't quite doing it right. So I'm learning. I can see this being a part of my arsenal, especially having one with this set up and then my swim bait. Had one miss the buzzbait and I immediately threw in my swim bait and broke off. So either it was a muskie or pike or my knot wasn't good. This is a new rod setup. It's a little stiffer rod, more sensitive, but I may have broke the line. We're gonna see. We're trying new things, trying new stuff, trying to work out and work in different techniques and ideas. And I can see the buzzbait being one of them, 100%. Yeah, if you get that stopped at the right time and start reeling, it stays on top pretty good. And now I'm thinking my idea was the noise wasn't attractant. It is it's like a reaction bite kind of thing is what I thought. Further inspection of what I'm doing and how things are going, they're looking at that. They're looking at this buzzbait. And you think about it, the body of the buzzbait's underwater. They can see it perfectly great. And you're not ripping it really fast. I mean, we're going kind of fast, but anyways, the point is they are getting a look at this bait that you have on there. And since my thing was like a whopper plop or whatever, I would just go white or bone or black or dark pumpkin, something dark, you know what I mean? And now I'm thinking, you know, you may actually want to color this like something decent, because what's attracting them is a blade, and then they're still looking at that bait and eating it. Man. The fish jumped behind me. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. And so yesterday, even though it was a terrible day for me, I probably learned more yesterday than I have in a long time, because I've been throwing that swim bait and that's all I do, which I know it works, but it's not What is happening? I don't know if those guys are just chasing bait. There we go. He does not look bad either. He's not that big, but this is fun. He's not bad. Oh, yes. Oh, I just hooked myself. Oh, there we go. Chunky, he's probably a 13. I can't believe these smallmouth, they're kind of pale. They're eating this giant bait. Oh, you recording? Probably. See you, bud. I wasn't even paying attention on that one. You bitch. So, it's working. Is it working great? Better than my swim bait right now. Yeah, I would have caught more had I had a trailer hook, probably. This is okay. I like this being virtually weedless. He's not bad. He's not huge, but that's the biggest one today. Oh, yes. Maybe not the biggest one today. He's big, though. Okay, you're good. Guys, choked that thing. He's a decent one. This is working. How'd I figured this out that day yesterday? Well, I was also having a really bad day. I sometimes have these things called optical migraines, and ended up having one about 30 minutes, an hour after I got home, and I could just tell like I was off, you know. And it's funny because when I'm having those optical migraines, I basically go blind for like 30 minutes, see a bunch of crazy colors like Christmas lights, and well, this is the only third one I had. This one was the worst one. I had a crazy headache afterwards. But the thing is, prior to that, looking back at each time I had an optical migraine, I was off that day. My brain wasn't with it. Couldn't think straight. Just a complete mess. I wasn't even really wanting to go fishing because I felt so shitty. But I went anyways because I love fishing and I like hanging out with the guys, and I love fishing with those guys. They're some of the best guys I've ever met in my life. And yeah, so the thing is, looking back, I could see it was going to happen. Just how I felt and how things were going for me. Oh, shit. Got it out. I'm kind of glad I left because being blind on the river for 30 minutes really probably wouldn't be a good time for me. The sound of this is, I love it. I love the sound of this buzzbait. Well, this camera's dying. Little one, I think. Oh, he's not that little. He is not that little. He's not that big either. Ah, get him in the boat. Oh, this is awesome. This is addicting, 100%. They are choking it. All right, still not a giant, but that is awesome. First fishies on my buzzbait. Here we go, bud. See you later. It works. The buzzbait works. I figured something out at least. I'm not gonna say I figured out the buzzbait, but I figured out something.